Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Fridays with Sandy. I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants, and we have in the house Sandy Kreisberg, founder of HBSGuru.com, and a candidate from India, Priyush. He's a software engineer. He has spent a number of years as a senior systems engineer at Infosys, recently moved to a mid-sized company as a software engineer. He has an 8.99 on a 10 scale for his undergraduate degree, obviously in engineering. He's got a 700 GMAT, and he wants to apply to a range of schools: Indian School of Business, the Rotman School of Management at the University of Toronto, University of Washington's Foster School, Carnegie Mellon Tepper, Olin Business School at WashU, and University of Rochester's Simon Business School. So what do you think, Sandy?
Hi, Piyush. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Let me start out with a warm and friendly question. How many times have you taken the GMAT?
So I've taken twice.
That's the 700 GMAT for a guy like you is the biggest boo-boo on your resume. Don't you agree, John?
Only because, you're in a very swollen part of the applicant pool where you're competing.
Yeah, we don't have to beat around the bush. You're an Indian male, okay? There's a lot of you, and they typically have very high credentials. So
and an Indian male who's a software engineer.
Right.
You're competing against a lot of people in the elite part of the applicant pool.
And it's an easy way for them. Nobody likes to make decisions. They'll just say, well, we got 5 guys for this spot. This guy's got a 700. Goodbye.
Sandy, on the other hand, he is applying to schools that are not Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, Chicago, Columbia, Kellogg, right?
Yeah, I agree. Your school choice. Well, let's for the folks at home. What are your first choice schools?
Yeah, it would be Indian Business School, based out of Hyderabad. Mohali, they have 2 campuses.
The first school is the Indian School of Business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of our listeners don't know about that.
I would say that's the leading school for MBAs in India.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
If they go to IIMs, but I believe it's the highest ranked business school in India.
And you told us you know people at that school with similar backgrounds to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, there have been. I have been at that.
No,
school.
I'm talking about credentials, numbers, and job history. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know what their GMAT was?
Yeah, it was in that range only, 680 to 720 range.
Let me ask you another tough love question, and then we'll just get on with this. If you took the GMAT again, do you think you could do better?
So I took the GMAT back in 2020, and back then I felt that this was the best I could get at the moment, and that's what I feel right now, that this is the best score I could have got. Okay.
Just for educational purposes, not as a kick in the butt here, John. How much better is this candidate with a 730 GMAT? What could that change some of the schools he could apply to?
Yeah. Well, I think for one thing, I think he would get into Carnegie Mellon with his 730. I think with a 700, I'm less sure about that. Of all the schools on here, obviously Carnegie Mellon and Washington Foster would be the sort of the tougher schools. I think you would get into, with your current score, I think you can get into Rochester Simon. I think you can get into maybe Olin and Rotman and Indian School of Business.
There, you hear it from the font of all wisdom, my friend.
And Infosys is very well known, very well respected all over the world. And you have spent the majority of your time there. You received several awards while you were there for being an excellent performer.
Okay, good. Yeah. Let's get back to another issue that came up. You worked at Infosys for how long?
So 2 years and 4 months.
2 years and what?
4 months.
4 months.
Yeah. And then you, they always ask you in an interview, Well, how come you switched jobs? And tell me what value momentum is. Is that the way your new company?
Yeah, yeah.
Value momentum, boy, what is it?
So it's a mid-sized company, and the technology I'm working on is Mark Logic. It's a very niche technology, and that is one of the companies based out of India. They have offices at US also. So they are working on Mark Logic technology. And most of the clients that I have faced in both the companies are based out of US and mostly insurance domain, insurance sector clients, since the data that we deal with is very sensitive and Mark Logic provides that security features. So most of them use that. So that's how it is. And yeah, it's a small company because we have around 5,000
Okay, yeah,
people.
you're talking to yourself, which is okay between me and John. When you go for an interview, you've got to talk to yourself. You've got to talk it all out, and then you really need to have basic questions like, "What is the company? Why did you go there?" Kind of have to have that in bullet points, without sounding scripted. It's an easy balance, if you know what I'm saying. You have to have it organized. You just can't be thinking out loud. Like, here's a question. What is value momentum? It's a small software company located in wherever it's located. It employs about X number of people, and its major products are this and this. You get it?
Yeah, really simple and clear.
You want to try it? You seem like a let's do this you seem like a do it kind of guy. What is value momentum? It's an odd name.
It's a software company that primarily works in the insurance domain, and they have around 5,000 employees, and they are headquartered at Hyderabad and Pennsylvania.
Good. That's it. Yeah.
That's good.
And, and the reason you joined, we went over this in the pre-conversation that we had, which is basically you wanted a broader role with greater responsibility instead of a narrow one where you were at Infosys, right?
Yeah. You here, the perfect answer for you is what really attracted me to Value Momentum was they were giving me a kind of a hybrid job with management responsibilities and technical responsibilities.
Yeah, that's true.
So that way it sounds like a step towards getting an MBA. So everything makes sense.
Yeah, and that's important because, no one knows value momentum in the US or Canada. Everyone knows Infosys.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to be able to explain why you went there. And that also helps explain why you're getting an MBA so fast. You just got there. Why are you applying to business school?
Yeah. So, like we discussed, my role is basically based out of the tech domain. So I will be working on the technology part of the project. I'm not a part of where, I'm dealing directly with clients or bringing in new clients.
I'm not taking this in. You need a bet. What's the answer? How come you're applying to business?
So business school, first, I think one would be for the knowledge that I would get out of a business school, then the credibility, and and the network. These are the three reasons why I would apply to a business school.
The network I understand, but that's generic. What are the first two?
Knowledge and credibility of the B school. I want to transition.
Yeah, that's not a good reason. That's why you're applying to X school. Why, in general, given that you're an engineer, that you had a successful career with Infosys, a world-famous company, and then you just went to a niche company. This is all intensifying your interest in engineering. Why the hell are you applying to business school? You just got a new job. You really need an answer to that.
No, like I said, right, I had to plan for long term. Say 10 years down the line, I would still not be primarily working on the technology aspect. Say, for example, the people I look in my company, in my previous organization, and in this current organization, who are working as project managers or product managers.
Yeah, it's too indirect. You're circling around to it.
Are you applying this year or next year?
So I would be applying for 2024 intake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good point,
good.
John.
Okay, good.
So yeah, you go, my plan, here's the way you answer the question, okay? But I'm going to ask you a question. Tell me, yeah, let's do this. What job do you want after business school? This is an important script that you should have internalized. What job do you want after business school? What job do you want after that? Where do you see yourself at the height of your career, or who's a role model for you?
Okay. So
Very
the job,
important information. You've got to have this internalized. Let's hear it.
yeah. So the job I would look after business school would be product management, so that I'm adding the skills that I learned at a business school, marketing skills, finance skills, people management skills, and also my technical skills that I've learned so far. So product management.
Okay, product man, you go. A great job for me after business school would be to join a what type of company in product management? A small innovative company, or like a Fortune 1,000 company, or an internationally known company in product management, where I could really learn both basic product management skills, and I could also learn the culture of working for a big company.
I think you want to work for Microsoft, Apple, Google, or Amazon in product management, right?
Yeah, that would be a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But, if possible, I would like to work for a mid-sector company, mid-sized company.
Okay.
Because,
So then you want to name a couple of those companies. And you want to say, because you want, I don't know, maybe you want more responsibility there, or maybe you want you have a greater impact at a mid-range.
Because
you need to be able to say, a good job for me after business school would be a product manager at companies like A, B, and C. A good job after that would be blah at blah, X at Y. And like a role model for me, or a job at the height of my career would be this, and you have to identify it. And then, as I say to everybody, it really helps to have role models. Could you point to a role model now as someone whose career tracks the way you want your career to go?
I mean, I know a few people.
Find them. Okay, this is fun research and very valuable research. Say it to everybody. You should have 3 role models. It's the easiest way of answering a lot of questions. Like, tell me what you want to do. Well, you go, what I want to be is an impactful leader in the X space. Role models for me are John, Jim, and Jane. And John is this, and Jim is that, and Jane is that. And that's a great answer. And then they interrupt and they go, this kid really knows what he wants to do. All right.
Yes,
so just do that. We don't have to beat you up anymore here.
So here's a couple of things. I sense Sandy thinks you should take the GMAT again if you want to go to Carnegie Mellon, or you want to apply to a higher ranked school. Am I correct, Sandy?
Yes, Sandy's advice is always take the GMAT again.
Yeah. So you can decide, well, if you really want to go to Carnegie Mellon, and if you want to, kind of give you a safety net on even all the other schools, if you can get that GMAT up a little bit more, it might be better, because as a male Indian software engineer, you are in the most competitive part.
720 makes a difference, don't you think, John? As crazy as it sounds.
It would make a difference. It's ridiculous that it does, but it does.
Yeah, don't blame us. Blame the schools, okay? Yeah. We're not the ones who are saying 720 makes a difference. The schools are the ones who are saying.
The other comment, and then you need to clean up and standardize your resume to make it a bit clearer and less jargony. I think that your resume is filled with a lot of engineer software jargon, and you need to get it out of there.
Make it look like a regular resume.
Yeah. And then the final thing is your selection of schools. I find your selection of schools really interesting, because for product management jobs, I I think Carnegie Mellon would be great. Obviously, Washington Foster would be great. I think Rochester Simon would be really good for you. But the fact that you're applying to a school in India, you're applying to a school in Canada, and then you're applying to 4 schools in the US, I would really think about where you want to be and where you want to work. I mean, if you want to stay in India, ISB is terrific. If you want to go to Canada and stay in Canada, Rotman would be a good choice. But if you want to come to the US, you want to go to a US MBA program, and you likely want to go to a STEM MBA where you have more options to get a visa in the US if you want to work here. And so Rochester, of course, has their entire MBA program is STEM designated. So that's a really good choice for you. So there you have it.
Bravo, John. A terrific summary.
Hey, good luck to you.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. Thanks, John.
Okay,
Shalom.